What's up today, guys? So I'm doing a little follow-up video from my last video because I put the ignition switch in, the old one, or here's the old one I should say. I put the new one in and it still didn't work. So a little frustrating because my Nova was down and here I am just bumming cars off my dad. Just fine, I guess. His little 4.8 LS that sure is a lot peppier than my vehicles and a lot better on fuel economy. Anyways, so here we are. I had printed out the actual wiring diagram, which is 4 sheets in total. And then I, oddly enough, got a Facebook ad, if they're not listening to me, for classic wiring, classic car wiring, sorry. And so I went ahead and bought the Chevy truck series. And I really like it because it is color coded and it's huge. I mean, we're talking, it's 11, I think it's 11 by 14 sheets here. So I mean, you can really look at everything. The real bummer is, so coming back down to here on the, where is that, ignition switch, the one thing I'm kind of bummed about is the actual prints from the manual do tell you what, I don't know if that's focusing in on that, tell you what, in which position what is connected and what isn't. They don't have that on here, which really stinks. But I mean, if you're really just trying to trace down, oh, what is this brown wire over here, where does it go, this can do it for you. So although I do like them and they are laminated, it is kind of nice. I mean, you could be out in the shop working on it, get greasy and just wipe it off, as opposed to, like, as you can see here, I've already got grease on my paper. And it flows a lot better as opposed to trying to line up all of the sheets. I don't know if, try this. Line up sheets like this and still have the margins and borders. Anyways, now, onto the truck itself. Get this stuff out of the way. So, I was messing with it today. Climb in here. And I got to talking to a guy at work who's really big into square bodies. And he said, you know, a very common problem is the little rack and pinion in here that goes from the key over and pushes that rod. They end up cracking, and it's very common for that to happen, I guess. I've never had it. Well, I don't know that I've ever had it happen, but so I thought, okay, well, I'll order the parts. The Dorman parts are like $5-6. Bought them off Amazon. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. And I thought I'd come out and definitely troubleshoot this and figure out what's going on. I do have the test light still plugged in to the wire that comes from the ignition switch to the neutral safety switch. And I was just kind of messing with it. And I thought, man, this thing's really sticky, the ignition, whole setup. So I would key on and sometimes it would light up. All of a sudden, I also pushed the switch back towards me. And sometimes it would key on, sometimes it wouldn't. One time I keyed on, grabbed the rod, held it, and as I turned this, I pushed the rod and it would key on. And I thought, man, what's going on? So my dad was out here thinking, he said, why don't you just oil it up? Spray some WD-40. So I took my old WD-40, any lubricant work, and I squirted in the key, squirted here, squirted there. One thing that I realized after doing that, if you look right in here, you can see that is where the end of the key switch is. And guess what? After I put a little WD-40 in there, everything starts working. Now my dad did say that he has had issues in the past with his K10 bending this rod for some reason, so he just took it out of another steering column. But I don't think I actually have that issue. And if Charles is watching this, he would be surprised that I'm not having to jiggle the steering column to get my neutral safety switch to work. I'm hoping that this was all the issue and me banging this around kind of loosened stuff up. For some reason, something in here, in that, at the end of the key switch was kind of sticking. But gave it a little WD-40 and she works again, which is very nice. Now, another modification I'm going to do here before I put it all back together is my wiring is rubbing right up here on the switch. So I still need to tighten the switch down. I haven't quite tightened that down yet. So I bought some, just some like conduit black plastic corrugated conduit. I'm just going to wrap some on here, give it a little bit more protection, because I'd hate for this to rub through and then short my wires out. Now I'm back in the same situation where I'm trying to figure out what's going on again. Anyways, I also had a mouse come in here while I was get some mouse poops within this last week, which is kind of odd because it was in the 70s and 80s and then didn't drop to the 60s till today and yesterday. And this was like midweek that I found it. So if you don't use it, they're gonna climb in it, I guess. Anyways, so that's about all I got for my video. I keep saying anyways, so I'm gonna try to avoid doing that. I need to do my 6-month maintenance of oil change and greasing everything up and checking all my fluids. But I have managed to fix the issue. I also tested the switch. I don't know if I said in the last video, but I did test the switch and nothing was shorted out. So this is actually probably a good switch. So I'll probably set this aside, keep it. Actually, I may keep it in the truck just in case something happens, or I do have it on hand, because it really doesn't take much to get this apart. It's just, it does take a little bit, but not much. It's doable. I wouldn't want to do this in a parking lot, but I could do it if I had to. Absolutely had to. So, anyways, this is where I'm going to end the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Maybe you didn't. Either way, I got my truck not back together because I'm not there yet, but I got my truck back working halfway. I'm pretty happy because I've been pretty worried about that last couple weeks. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more other shenanigans and whatnot.